Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
And I don't want to be part of this.
But we're going back to our roots. To kaiju movies.
I'm choosing the next kaiju movie we're doing.
Well, it has to be a kaiju. You gotta remember, it's gotta be a giant monster.
Oh, it is. The crab is the giant monster.
Anyways, today we're gonna go over the film The Giant Claw. I actually have been kind of wanting to watch this movie for a little while now. Because, what was it? Like, the past 2 years at G-Fest, there's been, like, a little short that's been, like, Godzilla 2014 versus The Giant Claw. And I wanted to find out where the heck that thing was from. Jessica ordered the movie. Well, it came in, like, a 4-pack. Because it came with, like, Mothra. Because, sadly, I don't own the original Mothra on DVD, so now we do. But, yeah. Got The Giant Claw. Sat down and watched it. Then I made Arnes watch it, because it's a thing of beauty. You guys don't know what it is. Can you look up the year for it?
1956?
I think so. I know it's 1950 something.
57.
Ooh, close. Alright, so it's 1957. But, so it's black and white. If you guys aren't a fan of black and white, you still should watch it. But, beginning of the movie, we have a bunch of people testing radars, trying to make sure all the dishes are aligned. Planes flying around. And one of the people that's flying around notices a peculiar object in the sky.
You know what I love about this movie? First of all, like the narrator guy right on the beginning. It just sounds amazing. He's got that voice, you know?
Well, just like all these like giant monster movies, the way they begin.
Yeah. And then they just keep focusing, stressing out how good technology is in 1950s. And we got radars. We can see long-distance missiles coming at us and all this
Everybody's
stuff.
Working so hard moving that little thing out top.
Yeah. They just
like one guy's just standing in the background.
They just keep beating that into your head for like first 10, 15 minutes of the movie. Just, you have to know how good technology is back then.
Yeah, so I'm forgetting the guy's name, but it's our electrical engineer, our main protagonist, comes back after seeing what he calls a giant flying battleship. And also called him the UFO while he's flying around. But gets back, they send out some search, they send out a couple of jets to go search for it. But one of them doesn't come back. The head officer at the place gets super upset because he thinks he's just crying wolf. But then, an airliner also goes missing.
60 people, Steve.
Yes, so stuff might be true. And pretty much the rest of the film is just revolves around them trying to find out what it is and how they're able to see it and how it's avoiding the radar and how to deal with the monster. So, for the plot, how'd you enjoy it?
It had a plot.
It has a plot.
All I can remember is...
It's only every time the monster's on screen ever.
God.
But I, for the most part, really enjoy the plot. Like, I initially going to this movie, I thought it was going to be abysmal. And you also have to take it like with a grain of salt because it's a cheesy movie. But then again, we love us some cheesy movies. Yeah, it's like a year after Godzilla would have came out stateside. And I gotta say, like I think actually it looks a little bit better personally, like in terms of like camera quality.
Definitely,
I will say that. But overall, like it works. Like it has a nice progression throughout the movie because at the beginning you're like, "Oh man, what is it? Where could it be?" And then once they finally find out what the monster is, then it's a lot of trying to explain what the where the monster came from while it's terrorizing, and then ways of dealing with it. Pretty much typical giant monster movie.
You know, playing all those Mass Effect games, I never came across the claw. You think I would since I was out there in space searching, you know?
You think? But yeah, most of the actors do a pretty decent job in this.
Except
Especially
the girl. I hate the woman.
Really?
I don't like her one bit.
Why?
I just didn't. I did not. I don't know. Kind of hard to explain. She just did not click right for that role.
Because she was a nagging, you know what? Because
Yeah.
she was.
She was annoying and like her reactions were super slow and they were like, yeah, we don't do 2 takes, so we're just going to keep this.
Well, my favorite thing is like the entire time, like the giant monster, initially they don't think it's real. And then like stuff starts falling into place. But she's always the skeptic. All the time. Until the thing is literally trying to kill them.
It's annoying as heck.
Yeah. And especially since she's like a love interest out of nowhere.
Oh, I love those. That was amazing. He tries to kiss her, and she's like, no, no. A few minutes later, okay, let's do this.
After making a bunch of obscure baseball references. It works! Got him into her pants. After a bunch of people yelled at him because they were being too loud. But yeah, she's probably the most grating thing next to the Giant Claw's voice. Screech. Whatever you want to call it. Because, alright, so for the plot, pretty traditional for the time. We're just going to get into the giant monster, because I feel like that's the big focal point of this movie.
Oh god, it is.
It's amazing.
It creeps me out, man. It never blinks.
Giant claw, it's pretty much a big vulture. It's a big giant vulture.
Came from outer space.
That also came from outer space, which has also an antimatter shield.
That wants to lay eggs on our planet.
Yep. Even though it only lays the one, and they kind of bring up the fact that it could have multiple, but don't worry about it, man.
We never go there.
It's whatever. We have to figure out a way to shut off the antimatter shield, which they never really get into, like they sort of get into, like, how they're going to stop it, because it's, like, using particles and getting in there and breaking the bonds. But it's just like, wait, what? I just feel like you're just throwing some mumbo-jumbo on the screen just so we can end this movie. You know what the funny thing is? It's probably fact, but it just sounds like mumbo-jumbo to me.
It was probably mumbo-jumbo back then, but now it's like a fact.
It's like, wait a second. But yeah, then it's just like they make like a giant machine stick on the back of the plane in order to shoot it from behind the plane, so when it's chasing them, they can fire it back at them, and then somehow have to get the monster still in front of them to shoot the missiles. It works.
There's a lot of inconsistencies.
But yeah, I think it's like, how the heck do they maneuver better than the bird?
How the heck does the airplane explode in the middle of the air?
Because they broke the fuel line or something. Bird just hits things. Terry Crews.
Terry Crews directed this movie.
Yeah, but literally, it's just like a giant weird vulture thing that never blinks. Its nostrils flare though, so it's got a little bit of like added production to it.
A little bit.
Although I like it when they have the mouth open because you can clearly tell that it's just like a puppet thing. There's just like nothing else in the mouth other than teeth. It's just like, it's a strange looking animal because it has like the long elongated neck with this giant wingspan with the feathers.
They're not feathers.
I like how it's called the giant claw, but it doesn't use them all that often.
No.
Like the scariest thing is like when you get the first like real money shot of the monster, and it takes down that airplane, and everybody's like parachuting out of it, and they're like floating down. Things is like right behind them. Then like, what is up with that roar? Whatever that is. Because every time you see it, and even when you don't see it, it's there.
I need that.
It's just like weird, like
I need that for my alarm clock. Actually.
Edited laughing, just like whatever the hell. I didn't even do it right. But budget, we'll keep it in.
Don't matter. It's annoying.
It does get kind of grating, but I guess that's like it helps because you have like that weird like sci-fi horror that you hear in like all these like black and white movies.
That's sci-fi torture
in the
man.
background. Also, it's like oh, it's amazing. I'm sorry. I love like the wanton destruction. It's
or
so
the
good.
Accidental hit of the prod building. They're like, we'll keep it in.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, when it's like flying through the city, and it's just like birds flying in. Also, it's just like, and bombs! It just smashes in the props like it was on accident. They're like, not doing another take. That's just how it's going to be.
It's hilarious, too, how they were like, how are we going to fix this? I know how. We'll just get a scene of a building falling on top of a people, call it a day in the middle of the field, and literally, they're in the city, and there's the scene after it hits the building of building parts falling on people in the, like, field.
Like, for the time period, is it really that bad, though?
No. For the 50s, that looks amazing.
Because, like, it's not the greatest, and other than, like, the Ray Harryhausen stuff, like the stop motion, I'm hard-pressed to think off the top of my head what really looks better. Other than, like, Godzilla, of course. Yeah. Like, it's strange, but, like, it's scary in its own right. I'll give it a pass.
Oh,
I
definitely.
give the monster a pass.
Definitely. Oh God, you gotta watch it. Like, there's no if and or buts about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Special effects, though. I don't think are that bad for what it is. A lot of it is like green screen.
You gotta remember though, this is 50s, so.
Well, I'm comparing to other 50s movies. We've seen enough. Because you don't have, like... I guess the one thing I would have really have liked to have seen is more use of, like, miniatures with it. Because there is some miniature use, and some of it, that, like, that's where I get kind of skeptical. Like, where they have the plane with the monster, and you can see the wires, and the plane just kind of moving weird. And when it crashes into it. I wish they maybe would have used a little bit more, like, with that and actually shooting the monster. Like, especially when it's, like, in the city, like, having tanks shoot at it. I think would have been really cool. I like just like Godzilla, and I have it like take out the little toy tanks, or something like that. Because there's some destruction, but a lot of it's like weird in the middle of nowhere, kind of. Like you have like the kids driving past them in the car.
That was one of my greatest scenes.
You have to have that, I guess. Where it's just like, we're being reckless, old timer.
We're rebels with no cause, man.
And then because like what the initial build up for that scene is, they halt air traffic, they halt traffic in general because the monster is attracted by movement. So they should have even been driving to begin with, but it's kind of like you have to. And then you just get these kids just somehow get away from their parents, take a car, no cops, nothing, middle of nowhere. And yet, still, that giant claw is always around. And it will get you.
Oh, it was amazing, too, because it's like a green screen, and they're all driving in a car, and they must have been going like 40, 50 miles an hour, and the claw's coming to get them, and that girl turns around, she screams, and she's like, oh, fuck this, just jumps out of the car.
Yeah. She was the smart one, because it just randomly explodes, too.
A lot of explosions in this movie.
Which is great. But yeah, Giant Claw. I actually say it's worth a watch. Especially if you really love like old monster movies. It's pretty entertaining. I guess the ending's a little anticlimactic though. Like the movie just kind of ends pretty quick.
They shot it, it fell down, flipped upside down, and
they just have the claw just in the water. And just cut the movie. But that's pretty traditional with this stuff. Like, even Godzilla movies, like, that happens quite often.
Yeah.
Where you just have, like, Godzilla walking away or something. It just kind of ends after the monsters are dealt with.
I wish there was another claw. I want a claw, too.
Yeah, I'd like to see the claw actually use more claws.
Yeah, I had a baby, so there's like 2-3 claws out there.
Yeah, they don't bring it up. It could. This movie deserves a remake. It could be a part of the Godzilla cinematic universe.
Yeah.
I'd go see it. But the problem is, like, you have Rodan, though.
Well, yeah. This guy would kill Rodan.
Well, yeah, actually, yeah.
No matter can touch it, so...
Yeah, I was like, it has the antimatter shield.
Yeah.
Could Godzilla beat it, though? Well, wouldn't it just have to fly into him?
Yeah.
Like, that would just be the fight.
Yeah, it just flies into when they're dead, technically. Because the antimatter shield is just anything that touches just disintegrates, so...
So is the giant claw the strongest monster in all of movie cinema? Let us know in the comments section below.
Check mind blown.
Gabber will beat it.
Oh, yeah.
With the power of imagination.
Imagination.
But yeah, let us know in the comment section below if you guys have seen the giant claw and what you guys thought of the film. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.